is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k dirtbags. We got a Custodes video for you today. We're going over the Warhammer 40k new edition, 10th edition coming out with Custodes. They posted a bunch of new rules for them. I think, first off, they look fucking insane. I'm super excited about them. I bought a 2,000 point Custodes list recently. I didn't really like the Rendax or the different katas that you had to pick in the beginning of the game. It was just super confusing to me because none of my other armies have that, and they simplified it to the extreme that we'll go over in the video. So it becomes a lot easier to kind of get into Custodes. They're such an elite army, very small, very like high costed, but they just do what they got to do on the battlefield. So I always like running elite armies like Grey Knights and stuff like that. So transitioning into Custodes should be an easy transition. So let's get into the video. Thank you first off for clicking on the video. If you guys are new to the channel, definitely hit subscribe so these videos actually pop up for you guys. And if you guys are Patreons, I appreciate you guys. Wouldn't be here without you. And if you guys would like to support the channel, go watch some videos. If you like the content, then come back, go over to Patreon and definitely help support the channel so that we can grow and get into more GTs across the country. We are the ranked #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world right now. We were Grey Knights last year. So just to give you a show, we are actually playing the game relatively a lot to get ranked up in the world. So let's bring this up for you guys so we can go over everything. We got the display going. Let me make myself smaller so you don't have to fucking stare at me. All right, cool. So first off, Custodes always look fucking cool. They're all custom individuals. Trajann is the bomb. He's fucking sick. So I have Trajann, I have a bunch of bikes, I have some sisters, I have the banner guys, I have the guard, the terminators. That's basically my fleet so far. It's like the patrol box and like one extra box I got. I was making the warden list basically. So then let's get down here. So the martial katas. So this is what was the change. Before you had to pick a whole bunch of different katas, Rendax, all that shit, and like, again, I wasn't a pro at it. I played a couple games of Custodes, and I didn't really like that you had a pre-game stuff. I think Necrons had to do it, Tyranids have to do it, stuff like that. So the kata stance at the start of the fight phase. So each fight phase, your fight phase, their fight phase, select one kata. So depending on if you're getting charged or charging, you get to pick kind of what goes on. The first one, and this is for your whole army. There might be like special stuff that you can pick different katas for different units. They didn't show that here, but basically your whole army gets one of these katas at the beginning of the fight phase. Each time a melee attack against this unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll. So basically your entire army can be -1 to hit in combat. Next one is melee attacks equipped by weapons have sustained hits. So on 6s you get explosions, so +1 or an extra attack for 6s. That's, they said, good for hordes, which could be really good for a lot of different armies. And then Rendax stance, which is the melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have the lethal hits ability, which means 6s to hit, auto wound the target. So if you have really high toughness targets that you're going against, you can just go into this one, which then 6s to hit, auto wound, which is great. That way you don't have to roll the wound roll, because most of the time you're going to be wounding on 5s on those tanks and big monsters. So auto hitting on 6s, maybe we'll get some rerolls in the army. I'm not sure, because Trajann, which they released, don't really show any rerolls, like at all. So yeah, let's go into, so those are the Rendaxes. Which again, starting off sweet, like beginning of the fight phase, you just get to pick what I need for that match or for that round. If you're getting charged, you could always just say, all right, I'm -1 to hit, so whoever I've left over is going to be able to live because of the -1 to hit. And let's get into here. So Aegis of the Emperor. This is what makes me curious. Is Grey Knight's going to get the 5-up mortal wound save? Because this is just for the entire army. They have a 4-up save. You don't have to pick a brotherhood. It's basically, this is their brotherhood. Adeptus Custodes army have a feel no pain, a 4-up against mortal wounds. So that's really fucking good. So they have a 2-up and then a 4-up against mortal wounds. And most of them have probably a 4-up invuln save like they show on them and the Terminator models. So that's a pretty cool standard. Just say 4-up, feel no pain against mortals. That's across the entire army. So that is huge. All right, so there's two good things already so far for Custodes. Let's get into Trajann. Trajann moves 6, toughness 6. So he's as tough as a Terminator of Death Guard, which Death Guard people are posting all this shit like, why we're supposed to be the tough army? What's going on? And whatever. 2 up save, 7 wounds, 5 up leadership. So their leadership is 5 for battle shock tests, all that stuff, and then 2 of the obsec. He's got the Witcher's Axe, which is an assault for the melee. Damage 3, which is, I believe, new or fucking awesome for damage 3 weapon. AP is 2, strength 5, BS 2, obviously, and 2 attacks. So being able to run with this and shoot 24 inches, so you're going to be able to get a lot of shots off on this. Damage 3 is awesome. And then melee weapon is the axe. So 6 attacks. Hitting on 2s, strength 10, which is awesome. You're going to be winning on most Terminators on 2s. AP 2, which I wish it was AP 3, but they're lowering all the AP across the entire board, and damage 3 as well. So damage 3 on the axe, great. And then he is a 5-up Feel No Pain built in. He can deep strike. He's a leader, so he goes in the unit, and he gets the martial katas. So he's general captain. While this model is leading a unit, you can ignore any and all modifiers to the characters of models in that unit, and or any roll or test made for models in that unit. So basically you just ignore everything. So you ignore to hit, to wound, to the saving throws, to the combat attrition tests. You basically just ignore everything. So that unit is basically invincible when it comes to any type of modification in the entire game. So just anything that are like, oh, -1 to hit, nope, fuck you. -1 to wound, nope, just kidding. Minus this, minus that, done. So basically, this guy is going into like a big 10-man brick of probably, the Terminators that they can deep strike. I wonder if you can do this thing with them. We'll go over that in a little bit. Moment shackle, so once per battle. It's kind of like the same as before. He doesn't have a fight on death anymore, but at the start of the fight phase, you can select one of the following effects until the end of that phase. The Witcher's Axe melee attacks get basically doubles, so it goes to 12. And then he can put himself into like the exploding 6s or auto wound, which, if you're going to wound on 2s on most things, then the auto, 6s to explode is just going to be 12 plus X amount. This model has a 2-up invulnerable save. So instead of getting like wound capped or anything like that, basically you just have a 2-up save against anything that's coming in like AP 3 or 4 or whatever. That's pretty cool. So basically just doesn't die, hopefully, right? So you can still die. There's 3 damaged weapons coming into you and you fail, 2 and you already took 1 or 3 of them, like you're gonna die. Which yesterday I had 2-up saves and I failed 4 of them in a roll of a 10. So it could happen. So that's not a guarantee, but still it's pretty good to have in your back pocket. And then models in this models unit have the fight first ability. So basically if you get charged by a big brick and you want to fight first instead of getting mowed down, you basically just consolidate, fight, and then either pile back or pile in. But that's going to be pretty cool. So just being able to have an auto fight first on the entire unit, getting extra attacks if needed. Let's say he's the last guy there, or have a 2-up invuln save. So 4-up invuln save built in, so 2-up, 4-up with a potential 2-up invuln save as well. So Trajann is a fucking monster dude. He's gonna fucking rate. So he's got the assault, which is the 3 damage, and the 3 damage melee with freaking 6 attacks built in. That is awesome. Trajann is insane. All right, so then they released the Valoris Terminators as well, Custodians. So they move 5, which I guess then Trajann has to move 5, or he can move 6, and then they move 5. I don't know the rules yet. But toughness 7, so they're 1 more toughness than the Death Guard Terminators. Save 2 up, 4 wounds each, which is awesome. Leadership 6, so not a 5, but a 6. I think they'll probably go down to a 5 because he's in there, but they don't even take any tests anyway. And then a 2 for OPSEC. They have a once per game to go up to a 3 OPSEC, which is pretty cool. But they have the Grenade Blast, 18-inch range, D6 shots. I believe it was D3 before. Hitting on 2s, obviously strength 4. I think it was strength 5 before, -1 AP, and then only 1 damage. So the grenades did get a nerf. They used to be D3 damage, now they're only 1 damage. The axe is an assault, same with the spear. The difference is they're both strength 4. These are the shots. So they all got reduced. So strength 4, -1, 2 damage on both. But the melee weapons is how they differ. So the axe is a strength 9, -1 only, and 3 damage, with weapon skill of 3+, so -1 to hit. Or the spears, which I think most people might actually be running the spears now, because strength 7, -2, 2 damage. So the -2 is definitely going to help out, and the 2 damage. So this is kind of like before with the halberds for Grey Knights, but the 1 less to hit is going to be huge, I think. I think 1 less attack and -1 to hit, that sucks. So we're probably mostly going to be running the spears, which again have the same shot profile. It's just strength 7, which is still going to wound most things on 3s. So if you're going against Terminators, you're still going to wound them on 3s with the strength 9 anyway. So I'd rather have the -2 with 2 damage. And then the Misericordia, what the fuck? 5 attacks, 2's to hit, strength 5, -2, 1 damage. So do we get to attack with the Misericordias too? Because that'd be insane. 5 and 5. That's pretty cool. They can deep strike. Slayers of the Tyrants. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets a character, monster, or vehicle, you can reroll the wound. So being able to reroll the wound with their spears is going to be great, because if you have to wound on 5s, but I really need a hit. So if I'm hitting on 2s compared to 3s, that's actually a big difference. Golden Light, this is really cool. So once per battle, at the end of your opponent's turn, somebody was posting this, that you can literally do it turn 1, which seems really good to get them across the board. So basically, the end of the turn, you're just going to be able to pick them up and put them down anywhere on the battlefield once per battle. So you have to kind of decide when you're going to do it. You can use it more defensively or more aggressively. At the end of your opponent's turn, if they're not in engagement range. So let's say you charge in, kill something, and then you pile in either back or forward if you're not within 4 inches of them, or 3 inches, 3.5 inches. You can then just remove them from the battlefield. That's awesome. And then put them back into reserves, and then come back down. So let's say on turn 4, you needed, engage or behind enemy lines or whatever it may be. At the end of the turn, or end of the opponent's turn, you're, let's say, bottom of 5. You literally just pick them up, and then on turn 5, you deep strike them in the backfield, and then they can shoot or hopefully charge something, whatever it may be. But now they're getting behind enemy lines or whatever. So that is a huge secondary game that you can use with this Terminator. You could probably bring 1 guy in and do it. You can bring 2, 3 guys in and do it. So imagine I have 3 single mans of this, and then just doing that like all across the table. that's insane. War gear abilities. So bringing one of the banners, add one of the objective control characteristics of models in the bearer's unit. So basically you go up to OBSEC 3, which is really cool. So 2 up, 4 up in Vuln. But let's go back to this. So this is really what's going to be used the most on this. So I think if you literally pick up a 10-man Terminator brick, I don't know if you're going to be able to pick up Trajann. Like if he's in that unit, can you pick up Trajann? You can remove it. So it just says the unit from the battlefield and the reinforcement step. So maybe you could do that with Trajann. So basically you just pick them up turn 1. Like let's say you go bottom, right? Your bottom 1. End of the opponent's turn, you can basically just pick them up and get them turn 1 really, really close during the reinforcement step. So you're going to still have a 9-inch charge, but still you get them really close on objective, on a set objective, and basically just camp, like sit behind a wall, do whatever you got to do. But now they're there. So it's like, fuck, what the hell do I do against that unit? So that is going to be insane to face as well as insane to play. It's like an auto free Veilbreaker plate. Yeah, that's awesome. So I think that right there is the best thing that they released so far about these Custodes. Persecutors. So move 6. These are the Witch Hunter chicks. Or not Witch Hunters, but they're like the Bolter chicks. Toughness 3. 3 up save, 1 wound, 6 leadership, and OBSEC 2. So they have bolt guns, rapid fire 1. hitting on 3s, strength 4. Close combat weapon is weapon skill 3, strength 3, 1 damage. They have a 3+ ability against psychic attacks. So I guess that's in. Here's the question to you guys. With Grey Knights and stuff still haven't been released, but psychic attacks, there are some melee that have psychic weapons. So when they charge in with a psychic weapon, they have a save. Let's say their save is 3+, they roll 5 up, and then now they have a 3+ feel no pain to psychic attacks. So basically they have a 5 up and then a 3 up against that psychic. That's pretty cool, honestly. I don't know if Grey Knight's gonna have like a feel no pain against psychic. I don't fucking know, but that's cool if it works that way. Somebody let me know in the comments if that's how it works. But purity of execution. Each time a model in the unit makes a range attack against targets of a psyker, so like think about psychic bugs, Grey Knights, or even psychic characters. So they gain precision, so all the wounds have to go on that one psychic character, and devastating wounds. So these wounds get turned into mortal wounds. So they're just going to be fucking sniping psychic characters out and monsters. So auto wound, devastating wounds. No, I'm thinking of the blade. So the blade is the anti-psyker 4+, but I was thinking if they had wounds. So only on 6s do mortal wounds, but precision. So basically any 6s are just going to be a mortal wound to that character. So yeah, that's sniping. Talk about sniping some characters out. So if they're cheap, bring a small man, just kind of come in and have a precision option, or go out, do banners, whatever they got to do. So that's pretty cool. It's a good little tactic that you can be using for precision for psychers. Precision might actually be huge in 10th edition. Not lying. All right, Executioner Great Blade. So this is an anti-psychic 4+ devastating wounds. This is scary. So melee 2 attacks, weapon skill 3+, strength 5, AP 2, 2 damage, devastating wounds, so mortal wounds, and on a 4+ you take mortal wounds. So 2 attacks. Let's say you have a squad just charging into the psychic unit. You're just gonna nuke the shit out of that unit, all the mortal wounds in the world. So depending on if Grey Knights get mortal wound saves against psychic weapons or just mortal wound saves in general, who the fuck knows? But this is actually pretty cool, this little blade. Who knows if that Alara, or I think that's the name, Alara, the character chick, is gonna have like insanely anti-psyker weapon, kind of like this. So this is what I really like. This is why I wanted to make this video. I always love when you can bring like a dude back to get extra range or movement or whatever it may be. So Veilbreaker plate with Chaos Space Springs, now you basically can shank a guy and then make a guy to get the extra move for charges. This essentially works the same way, but it's in the command phase. So it's not in the movement phase or psychic phase or whatever it may be. This is in your command phase. 1 Adeptus Custodes infantry unit from your army, excluding the chicks. 1 destroyed model, excluding character models, obviously, is returned to your unit with its full wounds remaining. So 1 CP, you get to bring a guy back in the command phase, but you can only use it once per unit. So you cannot target the same unit with a stratagem more than once per battle. Okay, that's fine. But still, being able to bring a 50 to 55, 60 point model back every single turn, you now, let's say, bring back 4 models. That's 200 to what? 60, 120, 240 points that you're bringing back of these models throughout the entire battle. Like that's a huge swing, especially getting that extra charge. So the base, let's say you guys move up 5-6 inches, you then place a base 2 inches out to be within coherency, and that's basically a almost 2-inch large base size, so it's a 4-inch whatever. So you move 5, get 4, that's a 9-inch move. So basically you have a 9-inch move on your Custodes to get the charge off. That's huge. So that's good. That's going to make me want to play this army. So that being super tanky, being able to do shenanigans with the deep strike, having Trajann be an absolute fucking beast, like this play style is what I really like. Being able to teleport across the board, that's why I like Grey Knight so much. But being able to just pick up units out of the whim, it's not like in this one thing. It's like, hey, you can do it at the end of the turn or their turn once per game. So basically any turn you can be like, oh nope, now they're over there. just basically deploy behind the enemy line, get somebody within range. So let's say somebody you have to shoot them within 12 inches. So boom, now your whole army's within 12 inches. Yeah, I really like that. 4 up against mortal wounds for your whole army is awesome. And being able to pick these Rendaxes at the beginning of the fight phase is freaking awesome. So I think they look really good. I think they're going to be top tier like they already are now. It is going to take some finesse to play them. There is skill to playing these guys. It's not just like you put them on the table and you win games automatically. It is a lot of like thinking, strategy, and skill because it is an elite army. So losing one guy is basically 1/10 of your freaking army. So it's going to be fun. I got to pick up more guys. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think about them. Are you excited? I know I did the Death Guard one and everybody's kind of like upset. Again, there's so much to come out still. We don't know what's going to be the top army, what's going to be the worst army. We have no idea. So from what they released so far, this army looks very good. And I'm excited to play them more than honestly the Chaos Space Marines. I think it's about, these guys have the one up right now just because of what was released, but maybe when Chaos Space Marines come out, they might be, the top one. And then I'm still waiting for Grey Knights to come out, and Sisters actually do look really cool. So hopefully guys, you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to see more of. Go head over to Discord. There's a lot of fucking awesome dirtbags over on Discord. Go join the Dirtbag Nation on Patreon. Become a dirtbag. We're going to Atlantic City Open, so if you guys are there, definitely come up and say hi. We just won a GT over the weekend. That's what got us placed number 1 for Chaos Space Marine player in the world. And then we got the ACO coming up, which I'm going to be running Black Legion for with our Chaos Space Marine crown. So if you guys are running Chaos Space Marines, run the crown. You'll fucking love it. It's awesome. So appreciate it, guys. Good luck, and we'll see you in another video soon.